I feel compelled to share an experience that marked me so deeply, it altered the course of my life. It was both devastating and transformative, forcing me to reevaluate everything I thought I understood about love, freedom, and respect. It began when my husband refused to let me attend a simple weekend trip with my closest friends. That single decision spiraled into something far bigger than I could have ever predicted, leading me toward the hardest choice of my life. This is the full story, how it started quietly, grew heavy, and eventually reshaped me. My friends and I, bound since our college years, had spent months organizing a short retreat. It wasn't extravagant, just a couple of days to step away from work, family routines, and endless responsibilities. I was excited, maybe even desperate, for the break. Between job pressures and household demands, I felt like I hadn't been able to breathe in a long time. The trip promised laughter, connection, and a chance to recharge with the people who knew me best. I told my husband well in advance, believing honesty would prevent tension. At first, he seemed relaxed about it, even encouraging. "That sounds great, enjoy yourself," he said, and for a moment I felt reassured. But as the date drew nearer, his demeanor changed. His questions multiplied: who exactly would be there, where we'd stay, what our daily plans were. His tone carried suspicion rather than curiosity, as though he was searching for reasons to object. I tried to calm his fears. I told him it was just a women's weekend, maybe some spa time, shared meals, late-night talks. Nothing wild, nothing hidden. But his interrogation only intensified. I felt the tension tightening between us day by day. Then came the night that shifted everything. He looked at me with cold determination and said flatly, "I don't want you going." The words hit me like a slap. I asked why. What harm could a short trip with friends possibly cause? He looked away, his voice distant. "I just can't allow it." I pressed for a reason. Was he afraid for my safety? Did he mistrust me? Was something else bothering him? But he gave me nothing clear, only vague responses laced with an unfamiliar edge of coldness. I felt small, cornered, and heartbroken. How could the man I trusted deny me something so simple and meaningful? In the days that followed, I tried everything to bridge the divide. I spoke gently, explaining how much the trip meant for my mental and emotional well-being. I reminded him it wasn't about rejecting him, but about caring for myself. I even offered compromises, shortening the trip, sending regular updates, but he wouldn't bend. His refusal was immovable, like a wall rising higher each day. The night before I left, I packed my bag with trembling hands. My heart was heavy. I didn't want to wound him, but I couldn't keep ignoring myself. Walking out the door, I felt both relief for honoring my own needs and dread for how he might react. The reaction came swiftly. That evening, he called, not to ask if I had arrived safely, but to deliver an ultimatum. "If you go through with this, we're done. Our marriage is over." My breath caught. My chest sank. A weekend with friends. How could it come to this? I begged him to reconsider, pleaded for conversation, reminded him of our years together. But his tone was ice. "You've betrayed my trust," he said. "You chose them over me. It's finished." That night I cried harder than I ever had in my life. The grief was crushing. Anger, disbelief, fear, and sorrow tangled together. The days that followed were unbearable. Every attempt to talk only deepened the rift. His ultimatum never wavered, carved as though in stone. As time passed, however, the fog of shock lifted. And in that painful clarity, I recognized a deeper truth. This was never about a simple getaway. It was about control, about respect, about trust, or the lack of it. I realized I needed more than a marriage built on restrictions and ultimatums. I needed a partner who trusted me, encouraged me, and valued my independence as much as our bond. That realization was the first step of a new beginning. I turned inward, focused on healing, and leaned on the very friends who had planned that retreat. They became my lifeline, holding me up through the storm. The divorce was brutal, filled with tears, doubt, and hard conversations, but slowly I grew stronger. That short trip, once just a casual plan, became a powerful symbol. It reminded me that sometimes choosing yourself means risking everything, but it also means reclaiming your freedom. If you're reading this and feel confined by someone else's limits, know this: your needs matter. Your feelings are real. Your freedom is not negotiable. The hardest battles can lead to the truest liberation, the chance to live as your authentic self. Thank you for listening to my story. If you faced something similar, I'd welcome hearing from you. We grow stronger when we share. And if this resonated, stay with me, because often, someone else's truth can give us the courage to find our own.